I'm sorry. You mean
We love special people. That's all we need to know. Okay, thank you everybody. Welcome to the Marathon Podcast. We do this every Friday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, Eastern 6 Western. Well, it depends how far you go. Around 4 o'clock. You work it out. You'll figure it out. I think you got it. As always, you have the Corvo Ninja and the Distant Bodies out there. Jade, thank you for joining us this week. We hope you have a nice conversation. Hope you all enjoyed last week. Did give me comments or ghost stories. So. If you haven't checked it out, last week we talked about spectral things we might have had experiences with, and Corvo's stories about his childhood and hunting them down. I don't have very many myself, considering I am not as skeptical, but I'm also not a person that's seeking out fun ooky spookies because I think of thrill seeking. You had another one to talk about afterwards, and I don't remember what it was because you didn't say like, oh, I got another one, but we got enough time, so we cut it right there. So, like, do you remember what that was?
No. Afterwards, the question was the next question was, if you were a spirit,
would you be a vengeful?
What kind would you be? Would you be a vengeful one, a trickster like a poltergeist? What kind of spirit? If you were going to come back as a spirit, what kind of a spirit would you be? A benevolent protector?
Me?
What?
If I didn't die from a tragic, or sadful event, I would probably be a protective. But I know my emotional state. If I die and I had unresolved issues, I would probably be I'll probably be very like a sadful, mournful spirit. I know me.
I can tell you now, I would be a different classification because I'd be like a couple rolled together. I would be an asshole spirit. I'm gonna be that motherfucker that's gonna like move your keys to a different table.
Yeah.
And then you spend a half hour going, where the fuck are my keys? Or every time you right before you go to sit your ass on the toilet, it flushes, and you're like,
splash my fuck. No.
Yeah. I would definitely do that. But I would also, I think, be a protector from the aspect that I'm gonna play games and have fun with you, but if you fuck with my kids, I'm probably going to make you jump off of a bridge.
Yeah, my wife said if she became one, she would also be a playful one. But if the woman I talked to after her was like anything doing, she would also be like a little snitch. So
I would be that person that is like, it's all fun and games until you fuck up.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna flip the switch to fuck around and find out,
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. We're gonna I'll move your keys a little bit. I flip the channel on your TV. That's not gonna hurt you. But you break one of my family's hearts, motherfucker, I will scare you so bad you're gonna want to jump off the bridge yourself just to get the fuck away from me.
Jeez. Okay, let's just jump into the first one. This past week, a beloved game has remastered itself. And it is now the talk of the town. Like, it seems like every week there's a new game coming out that everybody's like, oh my God, let's all like jump around. And this game, when I was younger, I could not afford buying it at the time. I full stop did not play the game because, well, I didn't have the money then and I don't have the money now. Well, technically I do, but like I don't want to buy it and no one would be interested in watching it. And I don't want to just get it just for myself enjoyment because I have a lot of other games I could be playing. But that is the Elder Scroll Oblivion remaster. Have you seen the game?
I've seen parts of it, yes.
Okay. This is the line of Elder Scrolls games, and a lot of people were hoping for the new Elder Scroll game, like a new one, and then they'd come out of nowhere going, oh yeah, we're making a remaster. And the game looks stunning. It looks great, right? It's been modernized and all for it, and everybody has a bunch of nostalgia for the game. And I'm happy for people because I feel like this is what people like kind of want. But at the same time, a bunch of remasters, it's kind of like remaking a bunch of movies. They're reaching the bottom of the barrel, and I'm kind of going, can we like think of something actually good that's new? I don't know. This game doesn't feel like it's the right time for it to me, right? It feels like I would have liked to have seen the new Adam version. Sorry, it's like Skyrim.
Right.
I would like to see the new Skyrim before I would have liked to
Right.
seen a remaster of a game that's already been out for several years, just brought to modern day in graphics and even voice line. Like every single character has their own voice apparently, which is a lot of characters. Which I thought was funny.
I'm on the fence when it comes to remasters because I like a good remaster.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is kind of like to me a good remaster is when they remastered Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
That to me that's a good remaster. I like a good remaster. I am probably one of the few people you'll meet that is still pissed that they haven't done a remaster of 8 and have jumped to, I think it was 9 is what they're planning to remaster next, or 10.
Supposed to be 9, and it was supposed to be also doing a TV show, and that was like 2 years ago.
Right, and I'm a little upset because the excuse they're given for not doing 8 is that 8 had a very complicated system when it comes to like how you leveled up your GS, how you selected things, your gear, all your menus, like kind of like when you go in 7 and you're setting your materia, you're setting your items and stuff. 8, that menu system was relatively complicated, and they're saying that they can't right now find a way to make that transition for a remaster and
more streamlined.
Make it cost feasible.
Yeah.
And my reply to that is that it's not that much more complicated than 7's was.
Yeah.
But you did it for 7. So I granted I might sound like I'm a bitchy little whiny girl right now, or a little bitchy little whiny dude that wants a game that's specific that he wants, but the truth of the matter is that yes, I am the consumer, and I do want what I want. Granted, I've said before, sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing, and those people can be assholes. I'm being an asshole, and I will freely admit it. But the other side of that is you have proven that you can take something that has a system like that is, granted, it might not have been quite as complicated as this, but it was pretty close, and you pulled it off. Why can't you do it with this one?
Yeah, my brain would eventually just think of, like, I guess they saw it, or they see the number 7 of the Final Fantasy franchise being more fan driven than the 8.
And it is. I will agree with that. I'm not going to say that it's not. But my point is that 9 wasn't as big as 7 either.
Yeah.
10 wasn't as big as 7 either. So if you're going to go down the logic that we're looking for the ones that were as big and well like as 7 received as 7, then you should have skipped all of those too.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
Yeah, like they made 7, then they actually made another remake of 7, which I didn't know that. And then they made this remake, and then they made the Final Fantasy TV show, then they made the anime series. I'm like, they really like 7, but can we step away from that for a little bit?
I love 7. Don't get me wrong, I do. I love 7. It's why I'm playing it. It's why I love watching Stealthy play it. And I can't wait until 2000, I think it's 26 or 2027 when the last chapter is going to come out for this.
Yeah. I mean, the last chapter comes out, they better make a bundle, because that's when I will buy it.
But I am a huge fan. I mean, obviously, I am a huge fan. Okay,
that's your new vest.
Of Final Fantasy VIII, and I feel like what it really boils down to is they don't think they have a large enough fan base wanting it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go out there and you troll around on the network, you find that people have been asking for this shit since they heard that 7 was being remade.
Yeah, they were vocal.
You know, so they're very vocal. They very much want it. I feel like it's one of those cases where like me and you've talked about before, where they went and did a very well received popular of the franchise, which is there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
But now they're not paying attention to what else the fan base is asking for. They're just wanting to do what they want to do,
Yeah.
right? And I get that. It's their franchise, it's their money, it's their time, it's their effort, but if you're trying to market and make money, you need to kind of listen to the fans some too. We've talked about this before where there's been numbers and numbers of times where people have missed a window of opportunity of making, you know, bukus of money because they decide not to go with something that the fan base is asking for until it's too late and the fan base ain't asking for it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be that. I don't want that to be like that. I don't want it to be we're all wanting Final Fantasy VIII remake. They don't do it. 10 years from now, they do it, and then all the people that did want it is kick the bucket. And now you've released something and it's going to bomb.
Yeah,
I don't want it to be like that.
Or it ends up being the fact where, like, by the time they do release it, the game has been rewritten and changed so much that the fan base is going, what is this? Like, you could have just took the original, saved you a lot of time, saved you a lot of money, took the original and just go, whoop, here it is, just remastered, re-pretty.
Even with 7, they've made some changes to the original storyline. They have. Sorta. But I think they did a good job of being able to still put pieces of that storyline in there. So, for example, you don't go to, what the hell is it? Fort Condor in the remake. Like you went physically to Fort Condor in the original, but the mini game is still in there.
Yeah.
In a different format. So they still put the major part of Fort Condor in the game.
Yeah.
They just didn't have you go to Fort Condor. To me, they made some intelligent decisions on, okay, we might not can pull all of this off, right? But we need to still put some of the key points in there. Like you seen the big ass condor come down and grab a robe. You seen the mini game. You heard the stories from the people that were watching the condor.
Yeah.
That stuff was still there, even though you didn't physically go there. Like with the whole thing with Sid. The first time you meet Sid and you see the tiny Bronco in the original game, you're actually at Sid's house.
Yeah.
And Palmer's trying to steal the tiny Bronco. You have to fight him off and you end up stealing the tiny Bronco. The big thing was meeting Sid and getting the tiny Bronco. They kept that in the game. They just changed a little bit about how you went about doing it. So to me, it wasn't like, oh, we're just going to rip out the heart of the game. It's like, look, guys, we were going to have to make some changes to make this work. But we kept some, the key points. We kept the key points there,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I knew because I watched a video of a guy who's talking about something else entirely, but he started talking about remakes and he talked about Final Fantasy VII, and he's like the one thing he was talking about, like they changed not only the strip joint or the pretty much pub of the honey place into this like kind of upper class ballroom jazz place, whatnot. And I just changed that, but he wasn't mad about that. And then we got the pilot, the foul mouth pilot. That's like, when we first meet him, he's cussing up a storm, and he's not quite nice. And I saw watching it, and he's like, yeah, they kind of changed him a little bit. He's a little nicer, a little calmer, he's not the angry smoking guy in this version of it. And I'm just going. Changes like that are not that big unless you have as long as you have the aspect of it.
He's still cursing and he's still speaking his mind. He's just not quite as angry. But I don't think that we've gotten to the point where he's going to be that angry. If you understand my point.
Yeah.
I think if they're intelligent, they're going to keep him kind of chill right now until the point where you have to go get the high wind. Because then that's when he's going to blow his stack and be like, these motherfuckers, this is what happened. They stole my damn ship that I designed. You know, I see that's when he's going to be, you know, all up in arms.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I would say that they've done a real well job. Now, I am really interested in the new area she just went to because it's Cosmo Canyon, or where she's going to when she finishes the little stuff she's doing at Gold Saucer right now, because there's a storyline there. I can't wait to see how they handled it. It's Red 13's storyline. Like the whole backstory about his father, his mother, all of that is in Cosmo Canyon. I want to see how well they did that. And I'm going to tell you now, guys, this fucking game has made me cry twice, and I'm pissed because these people shouldn't be able to write shit that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the Bolivian thing. I'm just... Like, for their remaster, they're literally keeping every single lines. They're even keeping quirks of the original game in the game. Like, they literally just went, make it look pretty. There's your game. And I'm like, that's what the fans really want. Like that's what, like, they literally just, like, even the quirks, problems, issues, lines, like the whole old school, like when the guard runs up to you and the whole thing freezes and he's just standing there talking to you saying, "Halt, citizen," and then like, you know, or "For the king," or whatever. All the lines and all the little quirks in the game are still there, and they just pretty much added a mod to it, made it 2025's graphics, and made every single character in the game their own voice. Which to jump me to my next topic, you know, voice actors. Like, there's a lot of characters in the game. That means a lot of voice actors, right? So, right now, there is a movement going on that is still going. Now, you know as well as I do, Genshin Impact has been having a lot of cutscenes with no talking actors. And a lot of people have been going, what's the deal? Why is there nobody talking in these characters that I've heard before? They never not had voice actors. I like voice actors. They're good. I want to be one. I am an aspiring voice actor. So Genshin, you're watching this VOD. I will work for you. Because right now, all the voice actors, at least a lot of them, are on kind of boycott on Genshin Impact. So let me give you the rundown here. You know about AI. You know about AI voice acting. Everybody knows about AI's voice acting. Nobody really wants it, even though they make it cheaper for the consumer. Now, my question for you, Corvo, just to put it out there, are you more of a consumer in the fact that you would want your games come out faster, whether they have ethical voice actors or not?
No.
Would it bother you, even knowing your game?
Yes, it would bother me. It would bother me. I would rather have a genuine person voice acting the character and know that that's what happened. Know that there was skill involved and know that somebody took the time to make that character's voice something that I want to hear, than to know that, hey, we just pressed the button and there it is. And because to me, granted, if people don't know that it's an AI voice actor, they may not realize this, okay? And a lot of people don't read that shit. They don't realize that it's AI or a real person. I get it. But for me, I personally, I feel a stronger connection with the character in the games if I know a person was behind that.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't make an AI sound the same, okay? It's the knowing there was a person that literally had to say these lines, had to put that emotion, voice inflection, all of that in there. I feel it's more personable. I feel like they went the extra mile, you know?
So, they're fighting for protection in the industry for voice actors. And they're trying to get MiHoYo to sign with their union to agree to not have no voice acting in their video games from AI. And they're starting a whole uproar online. A lot of fans are not happy with these VAs and going like, y'all suck anyways. You're terrible. You're like all these things because like, okay, quick rundown. DSLR, whatever the wording of TSLR. The voice actor Paimon, right? She's still voicing Paimon in Genshin Impact, but she's also in the union. Telling people that they should stop voice acting for video games that don't have AI or voice acting AI protection, right? And people are going like, but you're still in Genshin Impact, okay? And they have not signed the contract to this company or this union. But little to know, most people don't know this. The union have some shady back history. Like at one point, they even tried to sign with companies to get voice acting AI into said companies. And if you don't make a certain amount of money in the industry when you sign up with the voice acting, one, you're not allowed to take non-contract jobs that are not signed with this union, so you don't get those jobs. And two, if you don't make a certain amount of money, $6,000 or so, which is like 10 or 15 or 10 or 12 voice acting lines a year, you get no health benefits. You get no benefits at all. You're just a part of the union. And if you don't take it, any jobs that are within this union, you're called a scab and you're belittled and you're shunned. Not very good look. It's like there's no thing. But little to no, Genshin Impact already has in their very Chinese laws and with their own contract, AI voice acting is a no-go. It's already part of their business. They already said it's not a thing. We will not do AI voice acting. Like it's against our law to do this. But this company also, this union, was after MiHoYo launched. So it's not a part of the now going forward unions of voice acting companies or video games. So they're trying to force MiHoYo to sign a contract to a thing they're already doing. And they're boycotting. So MiHoYo decided to go, okay, you don't want to voice act for us, even though you're already protected technically, we'll just get new voice actors. And now the new voice actors are catching hell for it. Like they're actual voice actors.
That does not surprise me at all.
Like, I will do it. I will do it. I am a freelancer voice actor. In a sense of mean, I am inspiring one. I would do it, right? But I would catch for it. I'm like, but I can't. What benefits would I get for joining a union? I don't get no benefits. And I'm already being protected by their very laws against AI voice acting, which I think is good. I think that kind of stuff, we don't need that. I don't think, I personally, I know consumers like, will be cheaper on a consumer. It's a free-to-play game, right? They're getting money. They're getting paid. The voice actors are. So why am I complaining? Really? They're getting paid pretty good money, and I get a free video game, even if it's not a free-to-play free game. I don't see video games should go up to $80 or $100 in modern days, but you know, some voice actors get paid as much as Hollywood actors, literally. So, but I'm in the mind of, I understand that is a career that people took many years to practice and learn and went to school for, or have done, you know, years of training to get to their position, and the AI comes in and just takes it away, and people are going, I don't care, I'm just a consumer, give me game. Just give me game, I don't care how you do it, just give me game.
It comes back to that mentality that as consumers, a lot of times we don't think about how what we want in the time frame we want it in and affects the other people out there in the world. So sometimes you want it fast. I get it. That's what you want. We've all had things that we wanted right now. I need it right now. But what you don't realize is sometimes to get that fast, somebody else loses something.
Yeah, somebody has to suffer.
Somebody loses a job. Somebody loses a home. Somebody loses their their livelihood. But that's the human nature. Remember, I told you one time before when we had one of our psychological discussions that people, a single person, is about themselves.
Selfish.
That is what they are. A single person is about themselves. A group of people can be worse than a single person sometimes, because it becomes a firestorm of everybody wanting what they want and they don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
There are the rarities that, whether they're a single person or they're in a group, they're standouts because they think about the other person. They don't want to call someone else to have that problem. And the problem is there's not enough of those people to offset the selfish people.
Yeah, and of course, I forgot to mention, if you join a union, you have to pay. You have to pay into the union, which is like something like $3,000 or something like that. The full details are awesome. I was looking into this yesterday, or the day before that, technically, and they make like over $1 million every month or so, or something like that. So this union is making a lot of money, and I'm like, okay, I'm all in for protection, right? Protection's fine. I don't know if you're a part of a union or not, but like protection's fine.
No.
Legal, like having a legal protection and or having them seek a lawyer for you to protect you from anything that might happen. I get that, but I'm mind of like, if I join you, for in a group of people, like there better be a benefit for me from day one, despite how much money I make. And if I seek a job outside of the union, you can't fault me for that, because not every it's, if they didn't sign with you, but they're still willing to use a voice actor, I think they're still doing what the right thing is, using a voice actor. I am not AI. I will do voice acting for said game. But does that game company have to sign with the union? I don't think that's fair, right? Like, some people just do work outside of it, right? Work past it.
It's kind of like where I work. We have one site in one state that has a union. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And that is because it was left up to that site in that state whether they wanted to have a union or not.
Yeah.
I don't think any company should be forced to have to sign with a union. Not that it's a bad idea if it's done correctly.
Yeah.
But it's like here where I live, just because Nebraska has a union, we don't have to have a union. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like company wide, we're not required that. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think it should be a people's choice, not a company bully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If all those people choose that work there to be a part of a union, then that's on them. That's their choice. That's their right. Okay? Yeah. But I don't think a union should be able to bully a company into having to sign with them either.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people in that company might not want to be a part of the union.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, one of the main people, like the guy, like one of the voice actors, I forget the name of the character, the guy that the green suit guy that has a little talking dragon that's really annoying, that follows him around, Yo How, whatever, and he swings himself around with a little whip, whatnot around the area. A How, yeah. That voice actor.
A How.
Yeah, that character's voice actor stopped voice acting the character, and someone from Japan that also speaks English that didn't know anything about the union at all, wasn't aware of it, took the role from him, and the dude caught hell for it. I'm like, if he didn't know about it, how he's supposed to be like, try to be standing up for you, and two, he's looking for work. He's looking for money. He's looking for that bag. I can't blame him. He needs money like all of us do. So, and I couldn't tell like the voice actor change at all. I guess I didn't pay attention close enough to tell that there was a new voice actor for the character. I was just happy to hear a voice actor again. I'm like, oh my god, thank you, someone reading the line so I can hear what's going on, because I don't want to, my dyslexia, I don't always want to read. So apparently Genshin Impact is also doing it for Zenless Zone Zero. And they're doing it for a number of their games. And, these people are all about, like, sign the union. And then, like here's a link to you, to the contract. You go to the link, and it, like, just shows you a page with some things that are just a rough draft. Like, it's not an actual document to actually go sign to do it. It's just like, just a rough draft. Like, we can discuss about this stuff with this union. I'm like, the protection's already there. There's no real reason for them to do it. And there's no benefit for them, and honestly, it doesn't sound like there's very much a benefit for the voice actors, because it doesn't sound like the voice actors that are maybe not making that much money, that don't get a lot of things, get any benefit. And if you do get past that amount of money, you still gotta pay a hefty fine or a hefty fee just to be a part of it, and then you can only take jobs that company that union signed with, only them. What about every other company around the world? Like, those are Canada. What about those in France and the EU and Germany? What about those companies? They're not a part of state, so they don't have to sign nothing. So you're literally limiting yourself to what work you can get. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Sounds like a bad thing. That's why freelancers like me would love to do it. I'll do it. Give me a couple hundred and I'm good. All right, so I just want to, I just thought about that. I was like, me, I like voice acting. Even though I'm not a real voice actor, I find it really fun, and I have for years, but I never aspired to go to school for it because I have my disabilities, but that's not a thing. Okay, so, if you have any other topics, be sure to jump in, but I have, like, one more thing. This is more of like a gripe. I sent you the link of it. Technically, I had two things. I sent you one picture of, like, Pokemon plushies that Nintendo or the Game Freak released of these large, like, Eevee Evolution, Vulpix, and Jolteon, and Flareon, these things. And I don't know if you've seen the meme going around this past year or so, but there's a meme with Vaporeon having a thick body and people having imaginations with this said Pokemon. And Pokemon released these large life-size versions of these Pokemon, and my brain just couldn't help but type underneath the tweet on X. How long do you think it'll be before somebody posts a not YouTube video, a OnlyFans or a Pornhub video of somebody playing with these plushies? Because I thought it was so freaking funny. I'm like, somebody's gonna mess with that plushie and put it online, because there's some weird people out there.
Right.
And my last one. Okay, so this is a little personal rant. Okay, there's an anime called, I sent you the link to it, and I was like, oh my god, this is killing me.
I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire.
Yeah, so I've been reading this manga for a long time. I've been keeping up with it for a bit. And they released 3 episodes of the anime. 3 episodes, week after week after week. They called it a pilot. It has been over a month since they released the next episode, because they said they were going to release the actual season to start on the 19th of this month. As you can clearly tell, it's past the 19th. It's now the 25th. And there's still another 18 hours into the season episode 4 releases. Have you ever heard of a TV show that literally releases 3 pilots of a TV series and then just cold turkey stops it right there and goes, yep, nothing for a month?
I've only seen it like once or twice.
Once or twice, because then they cancel the show later.
Yep.
I'm dying over here because this show is actually really good. It's a really good story. Wrong pipe.
Yeah, you're dying.
Yeah, I don't want to be easy card. Not yet. Wrong pipe.
You come back. I'm telling you, if you come back as a freaking slime, I'm gonna laugh.
Anyways, so nope. My eyes are watery now. Ah,
That damn drink had bones in it.
yeah, it did. Asthma, fun. So
Oh, I just realized what I left at work. What did I
Bones?
get the kids? I did.
You better go get it.
How?
break in. Anyways, so this show is killing me. Not physically. But there was another anime that came out this past week called The Beginning After the End, which was another Korean manga. And this series has a huge fandom behind it. And you know as well as I do, the last manga anime was Solo Leveling, which is a spectacle of an anime. Lovely, awesome, a pure treat to watch. Well, this anime came out, and it is the most dog wash animation I've ever had the displeasure of watching, and fans are ticked. They're telling like the whole industry or the whole makers of the TV show just like, hey, cancel your contract with them and go with somebody else to do the animation for this show, because it has a lot of fandom behind it. You know, it's bringing back the whole school of here's a still image, here's background of animation and movements.
Right.
And we all know
Some people like that classic stuff though, man.
apparently the fans of the book and of the series are all upset because of it. And I'm having, even me, I didn't read the manga, I'm having problems enjoying the show purely because of how poorly it's drawn or illustrated. Like, just not just the animation, but like it just looks like it's one of the most lowest budgets I've seen in anime in years. And I think we got to that point of animation that it's jarring when you see that old school styling of animation, and not even at soul level. And like people were saying, I don't know if you saw that one anime or seen that one clips of this anime where there's literally an anime about horse girls running. Right, that's all they do. That's their animation. They run really fast, and it looks great. It's a show about girls that run. They're pretty much, what's that? Horse racing. What is that called? You know the name of it? Stalking, whatever.
Equestrians?
Maybe. I don't know the name of them, but I know you can bet on horses and like the horse number 5, 4,
Oh,
3.
you ain't going to the track. You going to the track. That's just a straight up horse race. You got jockeys that ride those.
Okay, these girls are pretty much that. But people they do competitiveness in running. They're horse girls and they run, and all of them have their own little special little treat, and that's all the animation is, right? But that got some more special treatment of girls running, not even sexual girls, right? They're just girls in very cute outfits that are they're cute, but they're horse girls. But this show that's very well known and beloved gets the kindergarten animation styling of like 1980. Right? I've seen better drawn animes in the 1990s that I've seen in this show. And it's jarring. So I'm like, how you gonna you're gonna follow up taking a manga of Soul Leveling, a very, a new line of anime or manga, ported to anime, and then follow up behind it this show? Like, you're gonna look pretty bad. And you're gonna make people going, well, I guess only good manga out there and only good shows actually released was Soul Leveling. I guess the rest of it's trash. That's what people probably are. I'm speculating. That's what people are thinking, and even me, I'm going, I've seen better. Why?
I would say if I was to look at it, I wouldn't say that it's all trash. I would say they just went with the wrong company to animate it.
Yeah, if I would draw, my animation and my book, and it would go out there and get popularized, I'm gonna be picky. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care if one of my episodes comes out every other week. Hell, every other month, one of my episodes come out of my book. I want to make sure at least the drawing's good. I won't give them a time crunch. I won't be like, hey, you gotta release it every week. You gotta make sure it's pumping every day, which nowadays it is, and artists are dying because of it. Not figuratively, but or literally. Sorry, but they are overworked. I know they are. There's no way they can pop out this much anime and keep it this quality, like Solo Leveling, and not be overworked. This is, I don't see that so crazy when I think about it. But I don't know. Have you ever had a thing like that where you've seen the quality of something be so, like at a standard bar, and then they go, you know what? But for years, we're gonna just drop it down to the bare minimum, and you're gonna deal. You're gonna like it. I don't think that's ever happening.
I've seen that once or twice in like live action shows too, where you would be watching. They'd release this company would release this this show, and it was done very well. Special effects was done well, writing was done well, everything was done well, and then that same company follow up with something that was, the writing was bad, the special effects was terrible. I've seen that happen. But
yes, it's kind of like Cowboy Bebop for some people.
I don't know how much that is on the company itself, from the standpoint that that's what they were willing to settle for, as much as it is that they go out there, they make negotiations for people to do whatever special effects, whatever they're doing, whatever drawing, right?
Yeah.
And the companies present what they're capable of, and then they sign the contract, but what they get back in return is not what they originally wanted. But the problem is, now you're already in a contract.
Now, the cover art, if you look at it, cover art looks great. It looks like a well-designed cover art for it. It looks very fancy and good looking, which hey, they put a lot of effort into that. But you actually watch a TV show and you just look at it and just going, it got to look one-to-one, right? Like, it's almost like false advertisement, it feels like to me. Like, I look at that, like, that looks great. Go to watch a TV show, they don't line up with each other at all. In a sense of artistic representation, I would say. And I would almost like, if I were a first-time viewer of this TV show, I would not go and pursue or go and find the manga to actually see what the original source was, just because of how I am uninterested in this. And I think that gives a bad look to what it could have been, another slew of bringing manga into the main industry, like China's been trying to break into anime for a while. Now, I mean, popular animes are from China. Now, Korea's trying to do it, manga, and they're get one. But that's
to me that equates kind of like to what went on with Netflix when they started doing anime.
Mm-hmm.
They would release one really good one. I mean, look at Castlevania. Did a great job with it, right? Then they would release one that was total shit. Then they'd release another good one. Then they'd release one that was a total shit. And they went back and forth, and what you get is, what it is it depends on who won the bid for the animation.
Yeah. I wonder if they actually do bids. I have to look into that. I wonder if they actually do bids, or they just find.
They don't reach out to a single company every time.
Mm.
When they have a project come up, they reach out to X amount of companies. They tell them what they want, and they have them bid on, what would it cost for your company to animate this series? What would it cost for this company to animate that series? Because the way big business works is they always looking for a way to save $1.
Yeah. I personally would have been like, yeah, let me see your quality before I let you win this bid. And the quality is like this, you are no longer in that industry.
But that's it. That's the point. I can show you fantastic quality. I guarantee you the people that animated the show is capable of doing solo level anime.
Yeah.
But and that's probably what they presented to win the contract at a lower cost. But what they didn't tell them is that lower cost is going to cut that quality down.
Yeah, cut the quality down to paper mache. Man, I'm trying to give the show a fair chance. You know me. I tell everybody this. I will watch the most cringiest, most terrible anime there is out there, just all the way through too, just to see if it's true. And I will grin and bear it the entire time, and that's what I will do with this one. But I will complain about it. What do you want to say?
No, it's just a thought that popped in my head. I can't remember which one it is, but have you heard about Star Wars finally broke the topic of sexual assault in one of their shows?
No, that is a very interesting and very bold topic to bring up.
I can't remember exactly which one it was. I would have to look. Give me just a second and I'll tell you.
Now, I do know the woman that was in charge of Star Wars was finally fired, released, let go of, and someone else picked up. But I haven't heard anything about Star Wars since. Like, you know, a lot of people were upset, happy about her leaving.
Andor, the one that they've had going, right? The new season has a episode with a girl that is put in a situation. They do not allow the sexual assault to take place because something happens that stops it. But it breaches the topic that she was about to be sexually assaulted. Like, it led up to, you knew it was fixing to happen. If someone hadn't stepped in, she was fucked.
Yes.
In more way than one.
Yeah, okay? I say the wording in that one.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So now there's a big thing out there where, like, everybody's like, so Star Wars finally stepped on the line of on the fringe line, right?
Yes.
And everybody's freaking out because historically, through all of the Star Wars, while you may have seen Leia in a bikini, right?
Yeah.
With a chain, never once did you see her in a sexually compromising position.
Yeah, it never went over that bound of
none of the other females, whether it be Jedi, whether it be whoever, were ever seen in that light.
Yeah.
They might have been captured and forced to wear certain things that made them a little more sexually appealing. But never once did you see it come to a point where a dude was literally telling them, this is what I'm about to do you.
Yes.
And they just did it in Andor.
Yeah, they finally went into the more mature themes of it.
They reached out into what I would call a more mature-esque audience. And the thing is there's a lot of people out there that's going both ways. There's people out there saying, you know, I'm glad they're trying to lean more towards the adult audience, you know?
Yeah.
It's about time that it becomes a more mature show. And then there's the people out there going, hey, hold up. That's not the kind of shit I watch Star Wars for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that same thing could be the same thing could be said by political. Yeah, like the same thing for like political themes and their
right. So it's becoming a conversation topic out there. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I holistically believe anybody that is anybody that is shitty enough to do that to somebody, put them in that situation, and or have done that to somebody, they deserve to be shot right there.
Yeah.
Done. End of discussion. That is my personal opinion. That does not reflect on anybody else. That is me. But at the same time, we can't really bitch about it because we've been putting these situations in shows like this for fucking years. Okay?
Yes.
It is not a hidden fact that,
It's in the fucking book. God damn it.
right, there are points in the book that they left out where these women were in sexually compromising positions.
Yeah.
We've never seen it on the screen because they were aiming more towards the family group to watch it, right?
Yes.
Now people are like, you're taking away the family group part of it.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
like, are you really? Because they only went to where it was about to happen before somebody stopped it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
yeah, you know how I feel. I'm a mind of there's a certain point you can discuss things with your kids and your family that are boundaries, right? But at some point you gotta take the kid gloves off of things and going, hey, death is a real thing. Bad people do bad things that are really bad. And like you gotta feed your kids this at some
Right.
point, or they'll
Well,
find out themselves in the wrong way. But put it in
What
the
it
movie.
is
Is that a way of teaching your kids, like, hey, this stuff happens?
What people are actually getting pissed off about is that they are now going to have to be responsible
And talk to your kids about
for
it.
their children, and when it's appropriate, what age it's appropriate to allow them to see that, right?
Yeah.
So now they have to do, what you're supposed to do, parent.
Yeah.
Whereas before, they didn't have to parent because, well, it was safe, right? Well,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. The fucking world is not safe. Life is not safe.
Yeah.
Would I let my youngest, sit there and watch that shit? Probably not. My oldest, I would probably explain what had happened and we would be good. You understand? That's part of parenting, guys. You have to understand when it's okay and when it's not.
Yeah. But get to your kids before media and their friends get to them, because if media gets to them or their friends, they're not gonna know what, like, the friends don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like the other kids like around them don't know what they're talking about. And media might go overboard or might not explain it fully, or like might misuse some things too. Like it's just
right. Well, and that
talk to
goes
them.
back to parenting that should have been done beforehand.
Mhm.
Honestly, if you did it semi-correctly, because I'm going to tell you, there's no
Correct.
handbook on children.
Yeah.
No handbook. Everybody's going to do it different. But if you are trying to be a successful parent and you are trying to do your best, what that means is by the time that comes up, they should know, one, I should question this, and two, I should ask mom and dad about it, right?
Yeah.
If you did your job right. So again, that comes back to now you don't want to be held accountable for whether you did or did not parent. You know what I mean? It comes back to the TV and Netflix and shit can no longer be your just safe babysitter.
Yeah.
Now you actually have to do what, our parents had to do when we were growing up, because that shit was floating over the airwaves. There wasn't no, let me block this channel for this kid or nothing like that. You had to be a parent. You had to go to them and say, hey, you can't watch that channel from this time to this time.
Yeah.
Because during this time to this time, it's all adult TV, right?
Yeah. And you couldn't remember saying, go look it up online, and then them go look it up online and get like only one shade of gray when it's a multitude of shade of grays in that topic.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Come get more source from people that you should trust, which is your parents or family.
I feel like a lot of the stuff in that kind of realm, people disagreeing with what's being put in a TV show or not being put into a TV show, I'm starting to feel like it's more about now they have to put an effort forward and they don't want to. Yeah. I feel like they're feeling like, oh, well, now you're making me do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
It's like I can't just put it in front of the TV and
maybe
just say,
you should parent your children. stop being perverts in the corner while they're watching TV.
Yeah,
You know?
it's supposed to be entertainment, right? It's supposed to be for fun, but movies have taught people things, taught people lessons, taught people's, taught a multitude of topics, even political, non-political, taught people about violence, taught people about history. It's taught a lot of people's things. And sometimes messaging in movies happen. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be entertainment. But at the same time, it's also people's expressions of how they feel and how they think about society. And if you put your kids in front of it, those kids are going to feel something.
Well, it's like me. It's like I'm an adult. There are some things in some TV shows I cannot watch. It visibly makes me upset or causes a reaction. And Stealthy will tell you, if I'm watching a show and I see the foreshadowing to that coming, I will get up and leave for a little while. And then I will come back and I will continue to watch the show. You know? If you don't like something or you feel like something's not appropriate for someone, then ask them to not watch or don't present that part to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have watched a number of shows where everything but this one scene was perfectly fine for my child to watch. Do you know what I did? Send him out of the room until the scene is over.
Yeah. I've watched things in like cringe moments. I cannot stand cringe in movies. I will physically feel embarrassed for the person in the movie. And I just close my eyes and stop watching. It's not scary. It's just it just makes me physically uncomfortable. Even having that presented in front of me to the point it's that's so cringe and embarrassing. I don't want to watch. And I'll close my eyes, and then when it's done, it's okay, everything else is fine, everything else is funny, but that moment just unsettles me for some reason. That's just how I think, but doesn't mean the kid beside me won't think it's hilarious and watch the entire thing. And I'm just it's not my thing. I don't like cringe. Cringe is uncomfortable for me. Just call me weird. But yeah, okay, so no D&D. After this, we had some problems. Clouder's having some problems. Corvo's got to go to work tomorrow, which kind of confused why you're going to work on a Saturday. But
it's not really work. It's a work event that we do every year.
Oh, yeah, the work event, the walk.
Promotes.
And then Dazzling's having some problems. We're all having some problems this week, so sorry. I know we just got back into the story. But things happen, and I hope you also enjoy it. Go watch last week's podcast. Go watch last week's D&D stream. It's still on my YouTube channel. My character with his Fabio hairstyle, and Corvo with his wolf meats and all that stuff.
Yeah, you fucking traitor.
We'll see y'all then. If anybody wants me to try out the new Oblivion game, I have the means to buy it, but that's about all I can get. So I would like to know if y'all be interested in watching that. But if not, I'm not gonna be racing to go grab it like a lot of other channels are. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
And because of the situation, Stealthy may or may not go live for a short period of time tonight. Depending on how dark it gets, how fast it gets, but we will be cutting it shorter than her normal stream if we do, because we do have to get up in the morning, or at least if my knee is jacked up, they have to get up in the morning. So, I've already told her I will hard stop her, and so that may or may not happen. Just giving you an FYI, guys.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. I need to get off my ass and do things. I need a reward to do things now. I want to do things, but I just don't want to. But I need another momentum thing to actually do it. But I hope we have some videos up this week, guys. I'm sorry. I'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow. We're gonna find out. But as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.